There
Hey,
I
what's
am.
going on, my friends? Hey, there he is. Oh, fell off the internet for a while, fell off the edge of the planet. My friend, my name's Dave Sharpe, and as always, my friends, welcome to the greatest show on earth, marketing show at least, internet marketing show about selling digital products, information products. We're obviously a little bit biased, but some of the one of the greatest marketers ever was Ringham and Barley and or Ringham and Barnum and Bailey Circus. They said they had the greatest show on earth. Um, that's because legendary marketer wasn't around yet. And in 2024 here, I can tell you that what the marketplace is looking for is real, relatable, and solutions from regular people, mostly found online. And we have lots of those here inside of our community. Today is no different. Coming to you all the way from California this morning is going to be a guest who has tried many things in her entrepreneurial career. She has done, the drop shipping, the Amazoning, eBaying and Facebooking and MLMing and all the other acronyms, and has landed in our world and is making this work. And so we're going to learn what the difference is between some of her past business learning experiences. We won't call them failures. And why she's having so much success now, building her business, building her audience, generating leads online, obviously earning income in her business. You're going to hear about her life, her lifestyle, some of the results that she's gotten. And I want to point out that the average how-to person that buys any information online makes no money at all. Period. Why? Well, I mean, we tend to believe that, change is hard, right? Sticking with something is hard. Being consistent is hard. And then the odds of just having everything working for you, um, being in the right mindset, having the right support both at home and on whatever it is that you're doing. A lot of the stars have to align for you to be successful. And so we're trying here in this community to align those stars for our clients here, at least to do our part and to teach you and share with you the strategy, skill sets, and mindset that you have to have in order to be successful. And it is going to be a big shift for you. So you should expect hard work, dedication, taking risks, developing your work ethic, and possibly working harder than you've ever worked before in different ways than you've ever worked before. Not particularly digging ditches and working construction sites like I did when I first came in, but applying yourself, sometimes hunched over your computer, staring at your phone, filming videos, putting yourself out there. These are the things we're talking about. And so let's hear this morning's guest story all the way from California. My friends, it's an honor and a privilege to welcome you. Roseanna, how are you?
Good morning. I'm good. Hi, Dave.
Hey, welcome. And you've not
Thank you.
been prepped or scripted for the show, is that right?
God, no, I'm so nervous.
You're so nervous. All right. Well, I'll give you some of my relaxation over to
Thank
you,
you.
some of my chill. And
So your
so,
chill juju. Thank you.
yeah, I told you I just rolled out of bed here a few minutes ago before we went live, and so, it's sometimes I'm up early, sometimes I'm not. And this morning I was getting a little extra sleep, but that's because
Good.
I can, and because I
Exactly.
want to, and because I needed it. And so, tell us about your journey here. How did you get here? What are you looking for? What what led you here to Legendary? What's brought you here? Is this odd? Is it God that you're here? I mean, how did we cross paths and why did you stay?
All right. So I have been on a mission for years to find the side hustle. I work full time, and I've always wanted something a little bit more. You know, we're in San Diego and our income, my husband works full time, I work full time, and we're in San Diego. So, you know, we have a home and property tax and all these things where if we just had one income, it wouldn't be doable for us right now. And so I've always been looking for something else to alleviate some of the financial pressure. And over time to make it so I could spend more time with my kids. And so when I was pregnant with one of my girls, I bought, you know, an MLM product. And I was so stoked and excited, but I had no idea what I was doing. And then I realized that I didn't really want to sell to my family and friends, which was what was being pushed. And so I tried a couple of those, and then I tried drop shipping, and I actually made like tens of thousands of dollars in drop shipping, but the customer service was killing me. Like I could work 8 hours a day on that. And so instead of persevering and pushing through on it, I stopped. And, you know, we've done some Amazon FBA, but finding products was proved to be a little bit challenging for us. And one day I was scrolling Facebook, Mom Book, and I came across someone's video and I clicked on it and I'm like, oh, what? Um, I didn't sit on it. I bought it immediately. I scrolled every single one of this girl's videos, seeing exactly what she was doing and what was making her successful. I um, bought the $7 course. I before Papa Don even tried to, you know, tell me about the upsell and what was happening, I had already purchased it, and it was like I was running the show with him. I'm like, listen, I'm doing this. Can you please unlock all the other days? What do I need to do? And so as soon as I saw this opportunity, I was just so incredibly motivated and said, you know, if she could do that, why not me? And it was, I don't know, eye opening.
Wow, that's cool. I was just messaging Papa Don. He earned himself a Rolex, and so I was
Yeah.
yeah yeah. I sent him to a jewelry store and had him get his wrist all fitted up and all that kind of stuff. He
Oh,
just
I'm
turned
so
eight.
happy.
He just turned 80. He just turned
That's
80.
so awesome.
That's not why he earned himself a Rolex. You don't. Yeah. Just so you know.
Happy
Um,
birthday, Papa Don.
yeah. So, wow, you've tried it all. You've got limited time. I'm hearing.
Hmm.
You're in a middle class sort of lifestyle,
Yeah.
two income household, high tax state, right?
Lord
Right.
help us.
You got a lot of odds against you,
Yeah.
but you have this desire for more, and you're willing to do the work,
Hmm.
and you're noticing that, and you've discovered that there's ways to generate and do business, not having to chase your friends and family, and so
Yeah.
you're learning how, and attracted to, I would assume, the idea of real skills, marketing to a cold audience, generating clients from the marketplace. What
Yeah.
light bulbs started to go off for you, either those or others, as you were going through the 15-day challenge, and even set you on fire to wanna, you mentioned upgrading into our flagship Blueprints program, which,
Yeah.
by the way, my friends, many of our clients, many of our guests, many of our successful students enroll in our business blueprints. It's not a requirement.
No, no.
It's not something that we force you to do. You can go through the challenge and not take the blueprints. Um, it's really your choice. You have to decide what's best for you. If you want the additional support, if you want the additional accountability, if you want the additional skin in the game, if you want the additional coaching, if you want the ongoing workshops, decade in a day, there's a lot of benefits. There may be one big benefit to you, which is save the money up front and try to figure things out on your own, or
Hmm.
what's left on your own. Go back to YouTube University, whatever. What what light bulbs went off for you, and what was the thing that made you say, yes, hey, I want to take this seriously and do everything that I can to give myself an advantage?
I saw the potential and I saw the success that other people were having. I saw the transferable skills that were taught. And I realized, like, people with existing businesses, if I would have had this knowledge and this information when I did those MLMs or when I did drop shipping, I wouldn't have spent, on drop shipping, I wouldn't have spent thousands on ads. On MLM, I realized I could have created a, Instagram account all about that product instead of trying to sell to my family and friends. It was just this huge light bulb of this, you could do anything with this information. And um, it just inspired me. I have so many ideas of different niches I can go into with this. Currently, I am in the wealth niche. And the reason I chose that is because I want to help the me's of the world. I want them to know that this knowledge is out there and it's accessible and you can learn it. It's beginner friendly and you could take this and apply it to your business that you're struggling in. You can apply it to a future endeavor that you want to do. So it's just super inspiring.
Wow, that's amazing that you point that out about the transferable skills and the fact that they could have done you so much benefit if you would have had them in previous ventures. I feel the same exact way because I failed myself forward in several ventures back in
Yeah.
2009 and 10, which led me online because
Mhm.
I had burned my bridges in a sense. You know, I didn't have a ton of friends and family, but I had enough and I ran through them a couple of times. And so they saw me coming. You know, I was at
Yeah.
that point slapping a magnet on the side of my old 1990 Ford F-150, driving around town, hoping that somebody was going to, be attracted to my rusty truck and give me a call for my cell phone service that I was selling for an
Yeah.
MLM,
Yes.
and it's like, wow, there's, 8 billion people, roughly half of them, last time I checked, are online. And I can tap into them and I can do business with them. I can do repeat business with them. I can build a business from, a few hundred to a few thousand raving fans or people that are on my list. So you have begun to build a quite an audience. I believe you have went from zero, started with zero, and now you have something like 60 or 70,000 followers across all your platforms, something like 40,000 on Instagram or something. What is it like now to have an audience of people who, are following you, listening to you? Tell us about also your email list. How big is that? Just how and how did you how what is it like now to have these assets, that you can use to be able to market and, quite frankly, keep church and state separate and not
Mhm.
have that infiltrate your personal life? Remind us a little bit about some of what you have built out there online so we can understand what you've created, and give us a little bit of a timeline about what
Mhm.
it's, how long it's taken you and some of the phases you've went through in growing that audience.
Yeah. Okay. So currently I'm up to 90,000 followers. I think I have 30 on Instagram, 30,000. And it's so weird. I look at my husband, I'm like, is this real life? Like, this is crazy. And, going back to like limiting beliefs, I'm like, no one's going to want to follow me. No one's going to want to hear what I have to say. Worst case scenario, I look silly online and that's it. I can stop it if it doesn't work. But holy moly, it worked. And it's working. And I have thousands of email subscribers and it's it's crazy. It's really bananas that I have these people who want to change their lives too and who trust me at least enough to follow me. And I get so many, so I use many chat. And when I look at it and I see the thousands of times it's been triggered of people, asking for help, it's inspiring and it's a little baffling and it's kind of humbling that people trust me to allow me to show them the way.
I love that perspective. Let's get some banners going up, for people who want to get started. They can go to legendarymarketer.com/enroll. If you want to take the challenge, if you want to buy the blueprints, if you want to get into a mastermind. And after we let that sit and marinate for a couple of moments, we'll share some social media profiles and get some people over there following you and giving you some support, and giving you some more people who are listening and learning from you. So yeah, I love, and obviously there's become results and money and so forth along with that, or else I would assume you wouldn't still be doing this.
Yeah.
But but that what I think a lot of people don't realize is that the real currency nowadays is eyeballs. You first build eyeballs, and sort of like Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will come, and then the money will come.
Hmm.
And one of the smartest things that everybody should be focusing on is not it's not how much money did I make today. It's how can I grow my audience, generate more leads, serve them better, and introduce them to things. And if you do those steps correctly, then the money will follow, right?
Hmm.
You have to get in the mindset of reverse engineering instead of what we do when we go into a job, which is how much does it pay? How much does
Yeah.
it pay? How much are you making? We
Yeah.
usually come home from a job interview, and it's nice to hear, but if you're in a difficult financial situation, the spouse is like, oh, that's so nice. Sounds like, you found a really nice opportunity. And what they're dying to say is, how much does it pay? You know,
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
so entrepreneurship is a little bit of a reverse engineering process, because we have no idea how much it pays. We're comparing, we've seen things online, we have ideas, but the truth is that if you take the approach of building your audience, of delivering value, of building your email list, of then introducing them to you know solid solutions, then that will all come. So we've heard some of the results and some of the things that you've built. When did you start again?
So I purchased in July, and I sort of started posting at the end of July, and I got a little distracted. One of the things that you talk about is the shiny object syndrome. I kind of had that. And I went off course for a few weeks, a month. And as of October, I felt like I didn't fully sit down and figure out this is my strategy of exactly what I'm doing. So I mixed in a few things, and I'm like, oh, that wasn't a good idea. And so as of October 1st, I had a few thousand followers. October 1st, head down with a strategy, posting 3 times a day. And so since October 1st has really been like the core of my growth and everything I've been doing.
So, I mean, we're really talking here, October, 4 months or so of good, solid focus. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's a great segue into my next question, which is, you know, what are you overcoming? What have you overcome in order to get here? And one of the big things you pointed out was the shiny object syndrome,
Yeah.
the distractions out there. Before we talk about what else you've overcome, what other things you are overcoming, let's talk about that a little bit more. What did you what did you learn that you didn't know now about shiny object syndrome, that maybe if you were telling, we have a lot of friends here, but if you were telling your kid or your friend or your husband or your mom, they're about to walk this path, what advice would you give them? How would you let them know about the landmine in particular of shiny object syndrome, why it's so appealing, some of the
Hmm.
psychology maybe also that's built into all of us, that may
Yeah.
even be a survival mode, right? I don't know. You tell me from your perspective, but and also what you learned from kind of suffering from shiny object syndrome yourself recently.
Yeah. So I guess the biggest thing is shiny shiny object syndrome. It distracts you from your main purpose. You know, I found legendary and I knew exactly what I was going to do, and then I got distracted and it took me off the path of absolutely killing it that month. You know, if I would have just kept my head down and focused, then the result I'm seeing now would have come a month sooner. You know, it delayed the progress that I would have seen. And the grass isn't always greener on the other side. You might see someone else having success with something, but how much time did it take them before then to get that into place? So, whatever path you're on, if it's the right path for you, continue down it. Don't get distracted, head down, put in the work. It's not going to happen overnight, which is what I wanted. Even though this is not a get rich quick scheme or plan, you know, you want that. And that's one of the reasons why shiny object syndrome is sometimes so appealing, is because you're thinking like, oh, then maybe that's going to get the money quicker. And so don't do it. Yeah.
I love how real and raw you are about it, because it's true. You know, everybody is always like, well, it's not a get rich quick scheme, and it's not. But damn, you wish it was, right? You wish it
Yes.
was, right? I mean,
Yeah.
who doesn't? You know, I mean,
I'm
if
like,
you
find me
had,
one of those.
right, kind of like the meme where the guy's sweating, like looking at the two buttons to push, and it's like get rich quick or get rich slow. Which one are you gonna pick? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's we all kind of say not a get rich quick because we want to say the right thing, but internally we actually wish that it was get
Of
rich
course.
quick because
Right? We all
who
do.
doesn't?
Want it to be easy.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And I think the thing is there's nothing wrong with that. Like there's nothing
No,
wrong with wanting that. There's
no.
nothing wrong with wanting fast results. But here's what I've found, is that things always take longer than we think they're gonna take. And when we actually get to wherever we are going and feel like we're accomplishing, we look back and it usually it's like, damn, that didn't take as long as like there were some ups and downs, there were some hurdles, it was hard at times, but I look back and it feels like the time's flown by, right? Think
Yeah.
about your life, friends.
Uh-huh.
Do you look back at your life and say, God, I feel like I've been on this planet for thousands of years? No, you look at your life and you say, God bless, how in the hell did I get what? I'm 40? Holy shit. You look at yourself in the mirror, you're gray, things are start gravity setting in, and it's like, what in the hell? Where'd the time go? I was just a young kid frolicking, holding hands, running through a field of flowers not too long ago. I was just getting married. The biggest one is our kids. Like grow up so fast, right? It's like because they do.
They do.
So
Yes.
it's like, yeah, when you're in the moment with your kid having a tough moment, it feels like, oh my God, this is never going to end. And then it does. And then you look back and you're like, man, those were the days. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
grateful. You're grateful for those problems. You'd have anything to go back and go through another one of those challenges with your little tiny baby.
Hmm.
When the baby won't go to sleep, when you first have a kid, it's like, oh, I don't know what I'm so tired. Oh, I'm not getting any sleep. It's always the same thing, right? But then
Oh.
when your kids grow up, it's like, man, I'd give anything to just hold that little sucker one more time.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
it's weird. I threw in the old survival skill thing, and I think that a lot of the way that our mind works is a conditioning of thousands or millions of years of developing survival skills. And it's smart to not have all your eggs in one basket, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it a survival skill to have multiple sources of food? If you were uh, a barbarian, it'd be better to have three fruit trees in a field of buffalo rather than one fruit tree and one buffalo, right? But in modern day society, at least the society that I'm living in, we pick one spouse. We live in one home. We have one job, right? And but sticking with that one thing helps us to have success, right? If you were going out on a date with a different man every night, not putting your eggs all in one basket, how would your marriage and your husband feel about that?
Not too great, huh?
Right. So the same applies in business. We have that nature to want to diversify our risk and have our eggs in one basket, and that can be an intelligent investment strategy once you actually earn the money. But
Yeah.
in business, the single focus of putting all of your energy into one thing and getting 100% back versus scattering that across multiple things is
Yeah.
the way that the majority of people build wealth. If you look at the richest people in the country, they built it from one business,
Hmm.
or at least one business at a time. Look
Yeah.
at Mark Zuckerberg. You look at Jeff Bezos. You look at I'm talking about the billionaires of the country. Talking about the multi deca millionaires. These people built it from one cash cow business, then diversified on the back end. And
Exactly.
then a lot of times we hear, wealthy people that all of a sudden are wealthy and want to talk about their diversification, or we look at people on Shark Tank getting into multiple businesses. But again, that's their chapter 25, not their chapter
Exactly.
one.
Yes.
And so we have to remember that in our chapter one, if we want to get significant results, we need to put everything into what we're doing. And you know what? If for some, I did have a situation to where I put everything into an MLM back in 2009, and I was
Mhm.
going around telling everybody about the cell phone service. Buy, refer free, get yours free. Da 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 da. You know, done mobile. Wow, it was called Wow Mobile. Wow Mobile, refer free, get yours free. Da 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 da. And then the company shut down, and I did look like an asshole because I had been, like a salesperson for this company. Um, and I was kind of left holding the bag. I didn't have any transferable skills. But
Mm.
what we're teaching you here, my friends, is skills and strategies that, as you pointed out earlier, Roseanna, are transferable. And we want you to be dependent entrepreneurs and marketers, not, excuse me, independent, not
Yeah.
dependent, right? Not dependent on a specific company, not dependent on a specific person. Now, I don't want to be your guru, right? I don't want to be, I don't have a desire for fame. I don't have a desire for power. I don't personally, and I'm at the helm here. So it's not, I'm not trying to build a, $1 billion brand where everybody worships me. I don't want that, right? I try to be as human and regular as possible so people realize I'm just a regular guy, right? Just a
Mhm.
regular person who's been on this journey just like you are today. So we've
Yeah.
covered shiny object syndrome. We've covered the focus that it requires, and that is a superhuman power. It's once you nail it and really understand it, it becomes a superpower. It
Mhm.
makes you begin to get results that are much different because you set boundaries. You cut people off who are toxic or no longer bringing value to your life. You learn how to say no to things, to set boundaries. You also learn how to set boundaries within your own home with letting your family know. Has that been something that, what has it been like for you to, having tried so many things in the past, to get the support of your husband, your family, even some friends that you may still have left? I don't know if you were in the NFL like me, the no friends left club, after all of the different things. But what just before we move on to other things you've overcome in the application in the business, what have you had to overcome, if anything, in the dynamics of family and friends life?
So I have the best support system in the whole wide world.
Okay. Okay. So that's
um,
not really an issue.
no, I'm super duper close with all my sisters. And I have what we call the 8 best friends that anybody could have. And they're so incredibly supportive. And my
Okay.
husband is my rock and has been so incredibly supportive. I've started waking up so I used to just let my alarm go off or let the kids wake me up at, whatever time we absolutely had to get ready for school at. And instead I started waking up at 5
Like
a.m.
I did, like I did this morning.
Yes, jelly. So instead I started waking up at 5 a.m. so I can come down You get your own hat toss. You. Um, so so I can come down and I can prepare for my day and get my reels ready and just have the mindset of here I am working on my business and I've already gotten all this stuff done before my kid wakes up. Although sometimes my 3-year-old comes down with her to-do list before I'm ready for her. So yeah, great support system and change things, but my husband's super supportive. Oh no, I've lost you, Dave.
I just muted myself because my team
Oh,
is playing around with my mute button back behind stage. I must have some background noise or something they're trying to cut out. Do you hear
ah,
background noise?
no, I don't.
Oh, okay. Well, they must. The maybe the tech gods. I think it's the Joanne gods, are
She's after you.
guiding the show somehow. The executive producer. Um, that's a big lifestyle change. That opens up a lot. We got to find pockets of time, where we
Mhm.
can. And I'm also so happy that you have that support system. What else have
Thank you.
you had to overcome with building this? I mean, was getting on video a challenge for you? Was comparisonitis a challenge for you?
Yes.
Was the Talk to us a little bit about some of these big barriers that if you didn't overcome them, you wouldn't have had success.
One of the big barriers was actually scheduling out time. So before, in the beginning, I was, being all willy-nilly about it. I was motivated, but I hadn't yet started waking up at 5 a.m. And that was kind of like the big change. That was like October 1st, started waking up at 5 a.m. and really treating this like this needs to get scheduled in, or else I might not have time for it. Woo!
I just wanted to point out that was the big change. One of the things
Mhm.
that changed there in October, just for anybody who was just doing the dishes while you were talking about that, because um, platinum nugget success leaves clues. Continue. Sorry for interrupting.
No, no problem. So changing my schedule so that it actually was scheduled and it was happening. Um, Overcome. So my videos in the beginning were so incredibly like I had no idea what I was doing. I just started posting and it was when you look back at those videos, it's pretty bad, but you know what? I was doing it. And that's half the battle, just waking up and just doing it and making it happen, whether it's pretty or not pretty. You learn as you go.
Yeah, totally. We all have cringy videos. I still do cringy stuff.
Same. I mean,
Look at what I do online every day. It's unbelievable. I'm sitting here with throwing the hats and everything else and acting like a fool and saying I just rolled out of bed. Come on, it's
yeah.
ridiculous. But at a certain point, you stop trying to be. You either kind of find your own voice and get comfortable in your own skin, or you continue to suffer and you both get no results and also have no fun doing it.
Hmm.
So I see that you had mentioned you're in the health niche. We're sharing your digital growth gal Instagram. Talk to us a little bit about niche selection and why you've chosen to do the various things that you're doing, and give us an overview of kind of what you are promoting and why you're promoting those things and kind of how you're keeping it organized within your own head and your own business.
Yeah. So wealth niche. I picked it because for 8 years, I've been looking for a way to earn income online that was sustainable, didn't take up, 8 hours a day. I didn't have to deal with customer service. So the business model just looked phenomenal to me. And the reason wealth niche was like this is what I have to do it is because I saw the potential for myself, but I know there are thousands of people out there who aren't getting to spend nights with their kids, who are working 2 jobs, who are away from their kids for like 10 hours a day and they get 2 hours with them. That is like literally the biggest scam in the whole wide world, to only get, especially moms, you raise these, you carry them for 9 months, you want to be with them. And after 4 months, you're told, nope, you have to go back to work. You have to give your baby to somebody else. And I'm not okay with that. And I want these women to have a choice and a chance to have a better life. Yeah. Men too. Don't forget about the men.
That was the multi-hat DDT.
Thank you. Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. Talk to us about the health niche and any other passions or verticals, niches, as we call them, you've pursued, and why you have gone, and also how you're kind of keeping everything together and balancing things and not kind of getting overwhelmed.
Dave, are you saying health?
Oh, I thought you said health. I'm sorry.
No, Dave.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I thought you said
That's
health
okay.
I thought you said
No,
health at the beginning of the show. Okay.
no.
Wealth
So,
niche.
mhm,
I
yeah,
got you. Um, so yes, that's a niche that you understand and that's relatable to you and that you're
yeah,
able to talk about, and that makes a lot of sense. That's
yeah,
what so many of us do when we first come into online marketing and building a business. What can we talk about? What are we passionate about? A lot of times it's what's important to us in our life right now.
yeah,
And for a lot of us coming in, that is developing some skill outside of our job. That is making money online. That is having a side hustle. So we tend
yeah,
to gravitate towards that niche. That makes perfect sense. And
yeah.
I want to remind everybody on here that it's not a requirement to go into that niche. It's truly a choice that you get to make. It's not a requirement to be an affiliate for Legendary or any other company out there. You get to
Yeah,
choose. You get to apply. You get to go where you feel called or where you feel is a good fit for you and then the audience that you want to build and attract. And I think that's really important, that you manifest and kind of have a vision for what you want to create instead of just looking at other people and copying what they're doing. So
yeah,
let's go back to your videos.
yeah.
How have you developed your own kind of message and voice versus potentially just, trying to sound like other people? Did you struggle at all with your own imposter syndrome, with finding your own identity? You're laughing, this must resonate. Tell us a little
Yeah.
bit about it.
I mean, and even now there's some videos out there that I'm like, that is so incredibly valuable. I am going to copy that. I make it my own in my own voice and, give it a little twist. But some information out there I do still copy because it's so important. I do want people to know about it. But, you know, at first you're just trying anything. You're throwing like noodles at a wall and hoping they stick. And so I've tried all sorts of things. But, when people have ended up going down the same path that I did because of videos that they've seen of mine, it's been, them searching for, a side hustle, or them seeing that, hey, like we've gone into debt paying for Christmas my whole life until this year. And that, that really resonated with someone being like, I want to learn those skills too. And I want to see what I can build. And so, I do a few different kinds of content, but side hustles, the reason I do them is because that's what I was looking for when I found this. I was looking for a way to be able to make money. And so I want to scream from the rooftops about all the different ways people could be making money online out there, and that suffering in a 9 to 5 isn't the only way.
And that example about being able to afford or not going to debt for Christmas presents is a real thing for you, right? That's a real
Ah,
example
yep.
that okay. Wow.
Hmm.
That is powerful. Yeah. I love that. It's a great example of an outcome that can be created from, what we're doing here, and having a
Hmm.
business and being an entrepreneur and finding the thing that's a good fit for you is
Exactly.
before we make millions and before we all those things. Most of America needs to pay off credit card debt, needs to get out from under the rob Peter to pay Paul model, the
Hmm.
living paycheck to paycheck. The unbelievable amount of stress that is accumulated in the body, in the mind from not being a from there being more month at the end of the money every month,
Yeah.
and I don't think that until you get out of that sort of financial burden of debt and living paycheck to paycheck, do you really realize how stressful that was? It almost becomes a way of life, right?
For
And
so
so
many.
how has your life changed in terms of your stress levels, your time freedom? What are some of the things that you've benefited from in terms of just maybe things we wouldn't know if we hadn't talked to you and got a little we've gotten some challenge, we've understood some struggles, we've known what the timeline has been for you getting here, your
Mhm.
shiny object syndrome, all that. What
All
what
the things.
else what else, what other areas have you benefited from here? Maybe talk a little bit about your own, whether it be your lifestyle or your personal confidence levels or self-esteem.
Yeah, all of the above. Self-esteem, yes, just I'm here on a live show on Facebook right now. That's bananas. um, so one of the things that this has done for me is yeah, yeah. I actually got a client that I'm now helping them build up their Instagram and make sales in their business. And so the potential and the possibilities with this are endless from the knowledge that I learned through Legendary. And it's increased my confidence to be able to go and help someone else instead of, limiting beliefs kicking in, being like, oh, I did this once. I don't know if I could do it again. I know I can. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that. And yes, getting clients, there's so many different ways to use these skill sets to be able to build our business and generate streams of income, starting with the core four business models that
Yeah.
we teach here.
Uh-huh.
Um, so what have you learned about yourself through this process? I mean, obviously you've already outlined a lot of things, tendencies. I hear a lot of tenacity, but golly, what haven't you mentioned that you've learned about Roseanna through this journey over the past 4 months about your potential and about what you are capable of doing and or anything else that comes up for you that's an internal win?
Hmm. Yeah. Um, so w- I'm the youngest of 13 kids, and right? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, my mom's amazing. My dad, super, just the best little lovebirds ever. They married when they were in like just out of high school. They were high school sweethearts, and they were before my dad passed. My mom's in her 80s. They were married all those years and just a happy, loving couple. And one of the pieces of advice that she has always given people is love is a choice. Wake up every day and make it. And I transferred that to this business. Being successful is a choice. Wake up every day and make it. And I have decided that there's no other choice. This is it. Like I'm going places. And I can't even remember exactly what your question was, but it's
Well,
like,
this is a beautiful story. You don't
thank you.
have to stop. I asked what you've learned about yourself through this
Yeah.
journey.
So just how powerful I am and that I can make a decision and I can make it happen um, no matter what. And I've already made the decision that this is the thing that's going to retire me early, that's going to retire my husband early. This is the thing that's going to give me time freedom, financial freedom to be able to spend these young years with my kids. Because although the days are long with them, like you said, the years are short and I don't want to miss these moments. And so this is the thing. I know and I've learned about myself that I am powerful and I'm going to make this happen. So,
Beautiful. Love it. This is great. I know your dad would be so proud of you. Your mom most likely definitely is.
yeah.
And I'm so glad to hear that you have the closeness and the support that you have in your friends and family. Phenomenal story. Lots of love and support in the comments for you. Hopefully you can go back and check them out here once
I
the
will.
show's
Thanks,
over.
guys.
Thanks for pushing through your nerves to help us end this week on a powerful note, an inspirational note. We've
Thank
learned so
you.
much from talking to you, Roseanna, and come back and see me, okay, in the near
Oh,
future.
I will. With less nerves.
Hey, You've done great. I wouldn't even have
Thank you.
noticed. So,
Awesome. Thanks, Dave. Have a good one. You could go back to
all
bed now.
right.
Have a
Bye. All right, my friends. That's funny. That's right. Caleb, the days are long, the years are short. That was a nugget there at the end. Team, let's post some of these comments up on the screen as I close this out, just to recognize some of these people who are leaving some amazing comments. Your digital growth gal is where you can find Roseanna over on Instagram. Your digital growth gal. Um, go and check her out. Go and follow her. Let's put that up back one more time. Sorry. Your digital growth gal over on Instagram for anybody who wants to go over and check out Roseanna, follow her, learn from her. Your digital growth gal. All right, back with some of these comments. Thank you so much, everybody. What a great interview, Tiffany Mitchell. Absolutely powerful, powerful interview this morning. Lee, Kelly, Sue, absolutely. You're so very welcome. It's our pleasure. Thank you all for, for tuning in, for leaving these amazing comments. Roseanna, of course, for just a powerful show this morning to end the week. It just keeps getting better and better in terms of just these, not to say that all of our guests aren't always awesome, but they just stay awesome. It's amazing how many amazing people we have in this community. Thank you all for being a part of it. Thank you all for spending an hour of your Friday morning with us here to wake up legendary, to inspire yourself, to have a productive day, and to move into the weekend with intention and inspiration. We will see you back here on Monday for another episode. If you want to, in between now and then, get started or start over with any of our education, you can go to legendarymarketer.com/enroll. That's ENROLL, legendarymarketer.com/enroll, and get started or start over. Sometimes that's what you need, is to start over, and that's okay to start over. Give yourself permission to fail forward. Give yourself permission to not be perfect. Give yourself permission for it to be ugly. Give yourself permission for it to be whatever it needs to be for you. Stop comparing. Stop thinking that it has to look a certain way. Give yourself permission for it to be your way. Do it your way, okay? But just do it. Just do it. And if you don't do this, follow through with whatever it is that you're doing. There's no requirements or forces here. We don't want to force you into doing anything. Even if you're not going through our course, damn it, I hope Wake Up Legendary was valuable to you this morning, and that it inspires you to commit in the direction with the business that you are wanting to work with, because what it takes is consistency, commitment, and work ethic, and to stick with something, to see it through, the difficult times to where you can get to some of the successes, and it feels like it was all worth it. If you give up before the miracle happens, then it's just wasted time. Nothing comes fast. Nothing meaningful and worthwhile comes fast anyways. It's a process of molding, of pressure, like what creates diamonds. It's a process of developing and growing. Okay, yes, you're going to have your toddler phase, you're going to have your awkward adolescent phase, and then you're going to mature into a business, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly, my friends. But stay the course, and you'll be amazed by what you are capable of. Get out of here, my friends. Have a wonderful and legendary Friday. Thank you all for the amazing comments and support and validation and compassion in the comments. It's always a pleasure to be with you every morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We'll see you back here on Monday for another episode. One more thing, if you want to get a text message reminder every time we go live, so you can know if you're brand new here and you want to get notified whenever we go live on Monday, text WUL to 813-296-8553. Just text the words where you would normally put the text, like, hey, David, we just put WUL, and then text that to 813-296-8553. You can unsubscribe at any time. We even give you instructions on every text of how to unsubscribe. But if you want to get a notification to make sure you don't miss an episode, text WUL to 813-296-8553. Good night, of here. Peace.